Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Look at that. Boom, boom. Up comes the truth. The graphics making Gotham great again. Vegan guns. Look at them. Just cut, chiseled, ripped. This is what happens when you don't sell out. You know what I mean? You know, when you don't have to send out going, help, TYT needs money, help me. Rather than get behind Medicare for all and force the vote, I made fun of Jimmy because I'm weak and I've got a dumb little ego because I'm a dummy. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, so there's been some fallout, folks. Obviously, force the vote didn't happen. We're not shocked. The squad sold us out. Of course, they did. The progressive caucus of the Democratic Party. Oh my God, what a joke! They did nothing. They've done nothing. Mark Pocan, who are they? The squad is the most noticeable. That's why they're taking the brunt of this as well. They should. If Mark Pocan had 11 million Twitter followers and everyone in America knew who he was, he would take the brunt of this. Nobody knows the fuck Mark Pocan is. Nobody knew his name until Jimmy Dore said it 3 weeks ago. So people are a little fed up. So this is the thing why the squad and all these Democrats who call them Cory Bush and all these people, Ro Khanna, all these people who call themselves progressives, they don't understand how bad it's getting. It's not just people are demanding free healthcare, Medicare for all in the middle of a pandemic. We haven't had a pandemic this bad in 100 years. They're demanding it. 100 years ago during the Spanish flu, free healthcare wasn't really a thing that people were talking about. Well, European countries have had it some of them since the 30s and 40s, but definitely since World War II ended. Since the mid to late 40s. So we're talking about 70, some 80 years. These countries have had free health care. You talk to the Brits, they love the NHS. They love it. And the only thing they get mad at is when the funding gets cut. So not only that, do we just not get Medicare for all? We could have forced the vote. We just wanted to vote. And everybody voted for Mama Bear. Yeah. And people are not going to get $2,000. That got voted down. 41 of 48 Democratic senators voted against Bernie Sanders' $2,000 stimulus. So 41 Democrats in the Senate voted against you getting $2,000. And then the democratically controlled caucus in Congress voted for Nancy Pelosi. So we're just called, you're hotheads and you're mean and you're saying fuck you, AOC is violence. That's not violence. That's not violence. You know what's violence? Letting people die because a for-profit healthcare system murders people. It murders people. People are fed up. Here's the thing I said on this. We've been saying this for a month. This force the vote thing. Ron Placone said it on the show. I've said it. This forced the vote. They're like, oh, you progressives, you guys won't give us any concessions. No, this is the concession because you know what the alternative is? This is the alternative. And I'm worried that this is I've been trying to, hey, AOC and the gang, hey, Jimmy's too angry. Jimmy's the voice of a lot of people that are starving, that are pissed off. Nancy Pelosi, San Francisco home vandalized with graffiti. Vandals also defaced McConnell's Kentucky home. This happened Sunday. Here's the video. They put a pig's head on Pelosi's thing. I said this. I go, our concession is don't vote for Pelosi until we get a force the vote, until we get a vote for Medicare for all. We just want Medicare for all. This is the concession because I kept saying what's behind this is people like lining up guillotines. They've been putting guillotines outside of Bezos's house for the last, 9 months. So let me show you. Let me play this for you. This is at the CBS in this Bay Area.
PIX5's Katie Nielsen is at Pelosi's Pacific Heights home.
The majority of the vandalism has already been cleaned up. The black spray-painted graffiti now covered by black garbage bags. The journalist who broke this story says this was extreme even by San Francisco standards. This picture of the overnight vandalism at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's home has now gone viral.
It was obviously a very aggressive very intimidating message.
Maggie Vandenberg says a source took the picture just after midnight and sent it to her, showing a severed pig's head in a pool of...
Just severed pig's head in a pool of blood. I'm telling you, you're mad at a comedian who almost died because of the shitty people. If you just give people health care, and $2,000, this won't happen. All right, you don't want to do that. Okay, I got it.
red paint in front of the Congresswoman's garage in Pacific Heights, along with graffiti that says $2,000 and cancel rent and we want everything, possibly a reference to the stalled additional stimulus checks. Pelosi is currently in Washington, D.C. and was not home at the time this happened. She is also not the only politician whose home has been targeted over the past few months. San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo's house was vandalized during demonstrations. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf's home was spray painted as well. And demonstrators gathered outside the home of San Francisco Mayor London Breed. Pelosi's neighbors say while they understand people are upset at what's going on in Washington, this type of vandalism doesn't help.
I don't think that this is a useful way to go about it, and it's a terrible start to this new year when we're hoping for less anger and hatred than we've had to deal with for the last year.
San Francisco police.
So that's a lady in a rich neighborhood going, why are you doing this? That lady probably has health care. That lady probably doesn't need $2,000. I don't know how tone deaf people got to be. I'm not happy to vandalism happened. I wouldn't be happy. I lived in, I've seen that kind of crap. I was, in Santa Monica when they looted and rioted right by my home in Santa Monica. It broke my heart, but I understood the anger. I understood the people being frustrated. I wasn't happy it happened, but I understood it. So this woman is like, boy, I just wish all the anger would end. This is probably the woman who's just like, oh, Biden, we all fixed it. This is someone who wants to go back to brunch. This is somebody who doesn't need health care. This is somebody who doesn't understand. You don't understand. It's a wealthy white lady in a wealthy neighborhood. Pelosi has a wealth. She was worth over $100 million. So you better wake up. And if you're going to get mad at me for pointing this out, or Jimmy for getting angry that we don't have healthcare because 60,000 people a year die because they don't have healthcare. We're in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying. So if you don't help people out, you can't even give people $2,000. And again, that's who the media interviewed. That's the clip from that interview. Maybe this was a longer interview. Maybe that same woman went, yeah, but I understand. And they should just, if they give people healthcare and $2,000, this wouldn't happen. Maybe that woman said that. I don't know. Or maybe they interviewed somebody else who said that. But it's very clear that the news, it's perfectly fine to say, wow, that's awful. That's brutal. That shouldn't happen. But this doesn't help anything. Oh, really? Well, voting against $2,000 doesn't help. Voting against Medicare for all doesn't help. You see this? You have no idea, rich lady and Pelosi and squad. You have no idea what's going on in the streets. You have no idea how desperate people are. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is how overthrows happen. This is what happened in the French Revolution. This always happens. The ruling class, the aristocracy doesn't give a shit. And the people are hungry and starving and dying and whatever else. And they just have it. They have had enough. And some dumb fuck liberal is going to watch this and go, but Graham, and they're going to get mad at me. And there's going to be some stupid comment in the comment section. And you're missing the point. I didn't create this. I didn't do this.
Not released much information about this case. Now, no one has come forward claiming responsibility for this incident. What is interesting is if this does have something to do with stimulus checks, Nancy Pelosi has actually been pushing for another $2,000 stimulus check payment. In San Francisco, Katie Nielsen, KPIX 5.
Defending Pelosi. The news is defending Pelosi. They also defaced Mitch McConnell's home in Kentucky, by the way. Graffiti on McConnell's home because he's blocking it. Everyone's tired of both of these people. They're tired of McConnell. They're tired of Pelosi. Both of these parties suck. Everyone's aware of this. But keep defending the squad and everybody in the Democratic Party. Keep defending Pelosi. Pelosi's fighting for you. It's Mitch McConnell. That's the game they play. Neither party gives a shit about you. Neither party is going to try to give you money. And if you're a lifetime liberal or whatever, and you think the Dems have your back, well, this is what Malcolm X said, 50 some years ago.
You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You can keep Johnson in Washington, D.C., or you can send him back to his Texas cotton patch. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. The party that you backed controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you. Because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
I mean, he said it. He was talking obviously to an all-black audience, talking about the black community, but I would expand from that. It's anybody of any ethnicity that thinks the Democratic Party's got your back. And I'm telling you, graffiti on McConnell's home and Pelosi's home, if it's, and I said this over the summer. I said this over the summer during the George Floyd protests. And I said, when the economic collapse happens and the evictions start happening, which we've just pushed the evictions back a month, and when there's food lines and unemployment and commercial evictions and foreclosures, and when all that happens, I said these George Floyd protests are going to look like a Disney parade. And that pig's head on Pelosi's front, that's just the beginning. I don't know. Open up just one history book. Just one. Just open up one. Americans think it can't happen here. It's already happening here. We have an oppressive ruling class that controls both political parties, and they don't care about you. Like he said, you're a chump. That Pelosi's our hero. You're a chump. And the 1% ruling class, I mean, they said this about FDR. He saved capitalism is what they said about FDR. Because he sat down with all these rich capitalist Wall Street guys and said, hey, if you guys don't let me do this and give the people something, capitalism is over and your heads are going to be on a stick. You're done. It's over. So you keep thinking Pelosi and the squad, they're our allies. No, they're not. They just showed you this last Sunday. They could have voted Pelosi out and put some real progressives in there. But if they did that, Kevin Harrington, a Republican, could have become Speaker of the House. That's a lie. That's been debunked. That's not true. It was pushed out there by fake progressives on the boutique left that their stupid little high school egos couldn't handle the fact that Jimmy Dore had a better idea than they did. Because none of them have any, what's your plan? It's always wait. It's always, now's not the time. When is the time? When is the time? When we've got 700,000 dead people instead of 350,000 dead people from a pandemic? When instead of 25, 30% unemployment, we've got 60% of when is the time? When is the time? Instead of 30 million looming evictions, we've got 60 million looming evictions. Is that when the time is? And you have no integrity if you call yourself a progressive in the Democratic Progressive Caucus, and you can't even, Pelosi's the problem. AOC said it. She needed to be replaced. They have no integrity. Because when you have integrity, like Eugene Debs, they put him in jail. I'd rather vote for something I want and not get it than vote for something I don't want and get it. Exactly. But the vote for something I don't want and get it, that's the whole centrist Democrat, corporate Democratic policy. Vote, we got something. We got a little amendment attached to some horrific bill. Bernie's the amendment king. Bernie sold us out. I was a huge Bernie supporter. He sold us out. I was a Tulsi supporter. She sold us out. I was an AOC supporter. She sold us out. I was a Squad supporter. They sold us out. The Democratic Party, you can't do anything about it. Okay? As Malcolm X said, you're a chump. It's time for a People's Party. We got to keep pressure on the force to vote. We can't let that up. But I hope anyone out there still thinks, oh, the Democrats, at least they're better than Trump. Trump's a jackass. I'm glad he's gone. He's going to have his own inauguration on January 20th. Whatever, dude. It's like some kid who got kicked out. I'm going to have my own party. Whatever. But at least he wanted $2,000. He wanted to give us all $2,000. And 41 out of 48 Democrats voted against it in the Senate. All right, Mitch McConnell. All right, Nancy Pelosi. You think spray paint's bad? Keep telling people to go to hell. This country doesn't care about you. This government doesn't care about you at all. The Democrats don't give a shit about you. The Republicans don't give a shit about you. Wake up to that fact. Vote with your dollars. Don't donate to any Democratic candidate. I don't care how progressive they say they are. Don't give to any forget Justice Democrats. Don't give them your money. They're the worst. They've sold out. Don't give Justice Democrats. Don't anything to do with the Democratic Party. Don't do it. You're a progressive that's running to primary a Democrat. Good luck. I hope you win, but you're not getting a fucking penny from me. And I doubt I'll even, I stopped having Democrats on my show because they're just, they just a bunch of crybaby sellouts. They're just they'll get in, even if they do get in. Look what they did. You're being too mean on AOC. No, she said she was going to fight for Medicare for all. She said she was going to do this. And then she gives these condescending, this is too performative. What's your step 2? Pay attention. Real activists don't do that. Real activists? Who are you to judge who's a real activist? You're not a real activist. Taking photos for Vogue magazine with Mama Bear Pelosi in a fucking $1,000 Versace suit. Who the fuck are you? Pfft. How's that congressional health care? Is it pretty good? Pretty good congressional health care? You guys feel set? You got the vaccine already? Got the vaccine? You got the health care? You're all squared away? Oh. How many tent cities did you drive by to go get your nice health care and get your vaccine? How many? Great. Good to know. Good to know. Boom. 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 Thanks for watching the show. Like, share, subscribe. Shave your knuckles for justice. Right? That's how we're doing it. Boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.